I mean, yeah, you can.
Yeah, okay.
Let's record it.
Okay, I have
Did
recorded.
you already have the session for the other people?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are on to the 13th or 14th chapter there. Um,
Okay.
so tell me, and let me share my screen.
Okay.
Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, I
So,
can see it now.
so I've recommended you for admin beginner, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we got there.
I haven't heard in the meeting that you spoke about this admin beginner with them, right? In the
So
first session.
in the later stage, I've told to him, to them,
Okay, okay.
because since
Okay.
you are like already connected, so quickly I told you guys. Okay, let me that will help me out. So login.salesforce I go and I choose system admin at cincinnati.com. Training at 1, 2, 3. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So look at this. I think we are on to the 14th chapter for them. Completed. Mhm.
There are a lot to remember, right? I mean,
That would be there.
okay. I'm done with the second one, so we can go from the third
Okay.
personal setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personal setup. So quickly, let's jump into the personal setup. So when you log into an org, where I call this is an org, and I say this is a developer org. So by default, these guys should have put dev here, and it's a free org, right? So that's the reason they put dev here. So look at this dev ed.
Right.
That means it's a dev edition. If it is
Okay.
unlimited or no professional edition, so they will have some other terms to put here. But unless it's a
Okay.
free edition, they put as a dev ed, dev edition. That is what you
Okay.
can get to know by seeing this. Okay. So otherwise, so look at this. So dev-dev.my. So dev.my instance. So yes, of course, this is a. So are we working some other no real-time project in my company?
Okay.
So look at this dev they have. Dev my.
It is your development org, but I mean, it is
It's a sandbox. It's a
one
sandbox
you.
basically. Yeah.
It's sandbox. Okay.
Yeah.
It is not a production. You're still developing it, and then okay. One question. Let me understand one thing here. So, what exactly are the roles of developer and then admin? Because it looks like you are doing a project in the admin training, right?
Yeah.
What exactly the difference, or I mean, the functionalities of these two, admin versus developer?
See, what happens is admin would do a basic configuration. He would do a setup, everything. So developer is basically you do it as a customization. Customization
Yeah,
such that
because
the customer may ask a requirement of which is not possible or which is not existing in out of box. So where you have to create something and then um, show to them, which is not out of the box. No, let's say you come here and do click something. Okay, result is done. So if you don't have such options, then you have to recreate everything, right?
okay,
I'm saying
so
you have got an org, but
configuring the existing setup is done by the admin, and if the customer wants an external feature or functionality, then the developer would come into the picture, right? Is that
exactly.
correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So this is a native Salesforce where all the functions we have, I can do small changes of configuration I can do, which is by point click. If I do, of course, it is the configuration admin can do. Configuration by points click, I say that means you click something here and you do an activity and then save. Okay, it worked. Why through a point click only you're able to make, then it's a configuration stuff. Altogether I have to write a code, then you're into a developer mode where you're writing a custom code. Okay?
Okay, so when it comes to .NET applications, If the developer has to create an application, he connects to TFS, or he go to Visual Studio, he create a new project, and then he'll write some solution files, .cs files, or everything.
Yeah.
Once the development is done, he might run some test cases for automation, or he can do manual testing, and then he will deploy the code to production, right? So how does the migration or deployment works here in
Here
Salesforce?
also we have a deployments. You move components from one org to another org. Like say this is dev environment. So I do
Okay.
something. Let's say I try to create some object that is not something table. Salesforce, we don't say it as a database table. We say object manager. In this object manager,
Okay,
each and everything is called as an objects. So I
that's
have
okay.
this is a new org. I didn't create any specific tables and objects. Any object which is out of box we get, we call them as standard objects. Anything on my own I create for my for my project purpose, then I say that is a custom object.
Okay, is it like a table or a
Now this is the
record?
table. This is the table.
Table.
Account is a
Okay.
table where you see a couple of fields in this. Account
Okay.
is the name of the
So
table, and then these are the
okay. So we already have some. Uh, how do we define it? Some
database.
declarative coding, something which automatically populates fields, or do you
Yes,
write
yes, yes, yes.
HTML or CSS here too?
No,
Okay.
no, no any CSS, right? Nothing required to create a table. See, these guys have already. It's like a platform, right? So already it is pre-built and giving you already made, which
Mhm.
is by point
Okay.
click you can do it. You can create a table, give just the name, say which is the first field that you want saved, and what are the external features that you wanted for that particular table when you're creating it. Okay, you created the fields first, and then you have associated layout should be automatically created to you. So each and every layout will have the respective fields which you're creating it. Let's say, for example,
Where does the UI? I mean, have, is this a UI?
this is why. Let's say if I just create here, let's say if I click on a custom object, give the custom object name. When I say custom object, this is a custom table that you're creating it. Custom table, why we say is you are creating it. Something which is out of box, the moment you create or you get it, it is all out of the box, we say. So they themselves call
Okay.
it as a standard object, which is sales was created for you and then given for you. So
Okay.
if you're
Okay.
playing with that, okay, it's called standard object. Now you creating something, we say that that's absolutely custom, which is because you have created it. So you give name of the table, let's say student. So plural would be students, and then object name would be student. The same as this
Okay.
what you have.
And okay, one more thing. So in if you take any web application .NET or something, we will have all the backend code, and then we will write some code to connect to database SQL, let's say SQL, and then we will write some queries to do CRUD operations on the data, or to bring in all this data, right? So
Yeah.
how do you
So
manage here?
see, Salesforce, you just simply create a table. That's enough. So these guys, the moment you create a table, so they will have a layout. Everything would be set up for you. For example, look at this. Account is a table. Account is a yeah. Account is a table, which is standard object. This is so they only created for me.
Okay, with
Yeah,
all those fields. And if you want to add a,
yeah.
let's say
You
if you
have
want to add a new field.
look at this fields and relationship. So where you can click on new fields, and then it
Okay.
says you what data type you wanted to create a field. Is it not a number formula
Okay.
and some
So all of
relationship
them are
checkbox?
available pre-existingly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you connect to the database? I mean,
So we
I'm totally confused, because my work field was different, and I'm jumping into Salesforce now, so I'm
see
not able to understand with other work.
here database connection that these and all nothing we have. Open database connection, closed database connection. No. See you.
Okay.
I tell you. You come up with the background where you have to write your UI. It says like
Yeah.
MEC framework. You do it. Model view control.
Right.
You have a model where
Okay.
database view for logic. Sorry, view for
Yeah.
the presentation where UI would be there,
Yeah.
and the
UI.
control for
Mhm.
controller logic. You write
Yeah.
DAO classes or DAO classes, whatever. All the
Yeah. Yeah.
controller logic you write it because I was the very from very beginning. I got trained in Java and then
Okay.
Spring and Hibernate. Sorry, to the
Okay.
Spring level. So even
Okay.
I have the confusion at the very beginning how these guys are combining all of this three stuff. So then
Okay.
when it comes to the Salesforce, so you need not to write anything at the very beginning unless and unless it is a custom code you're gonna write, then you have to worry about the MVC. So for that, for
Okay.
M we have this object. which I'm telling is model, right? So
Okay.
and now let's say account is a table, you wanted to insert some account on your custom UI. So a model is already available to you. So you need not to recreate stuff. Okay, you are creating a
Okay.
custom table called student. Okay, create a, go
Okay.
to the object manager, create a table called student, and then first field
Hmm.
anyway, the student name would be. Every time when you
Okay.
create an object, you should have a first field to be, given there. That's a standard one, like mandatory field.
Okay.
An object, I mean,
Okay.
table without a field cannot be. So they are asking at least one field you created at the very beginning.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
I'll show you an example. And then what
Okay.
happens is, so you come to the table, respective. Let's say after creating an account, so you get details here. So whatever the fields, okay, this is an account name. This is anyway standard. But if you say here student would be there, students, and other any fields if you have, this would be. Look at this fields and relationship. The field which you created, the first field would be a name field, and other fields you keep creating say new, and then keep on creating a different types. Let's say text, number, pick list, address, whatever you want. All
You don't have to build any schema or something for the table. You just have to create it. You can do it in the object manager.
yes, yes. And we have a schema
Okay.
where we
One.
can see overall what are the fields you created from which table to which table you're connecting it. All that we can see.
Right. Okay. One more question. So, uh, when we talk about the requirements, let's say if you take a generic requirement, you need an interface where just basic stuff, where you want to look at some. Let's say if you take an education database, you want to see some students' data on the teachers' data on which teacher, I mean, which professor would teach courses to different students and all this stuff. How do you start developing
I
that
think
application in Salesforce?
we'll look at Sandeep. So I think on the course while completing, we'll get all these answers. No,
Okay.
let's say
Okay.
the
Because
second, yeah, because on the
yeah.
curious level, if I jump, like look
Right.
at this. See, on the fifth chapter, we're discussing about custom budget and fields. You're talking about that, and then
Okay.
suddenly
Okay.
you're talking
Okay.
about some how do we look at the data level. So we have different types of cloud applications like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud. Now, if you see a scenario
Okay.
where I will tell you, okay, this educational database is absolutely wanted to maintain a student information, or right from the beginning of campaigning a student and then get into the college, you wanted to get that level. So it depends, right?
Okay.
How do you want it that you can travel through? But
Okay.
you
So
have
this
to,
all comes under admin roles, right?
yeah, this all
Everything
comes
is
under
still.
admin. Yeah. So when
Mhm.
would be a developing thing is look at this at the last I would have mentioned. I would send this course to you guys.
Yeah. Can you send me this course structure just to see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at this. If you are are having a background of a Java or if you have a background of .NET, so I would say that
Okay.
what are relativity in the very beginning. Then I would just give intro to the force.com. What is Apex programming, and how did the OOPS concept has been followed here? What are the data types we have? Of course, you would have been seen a number of data types in the
Mm-hmm.
fields. I show it
Mm-hmm.
right. Let's say if I click a new here,
Mm-hmm.
so you have a data types here. These are called data
Right.
types.
Okay.
Okay, this is very point click where the fields we have. And again, when I do a programming things and what type of data types in the program we can have. Let's say Boolean, integer.
Okay.
So those things is not mentioned here. For Boolean,
Okay.
yes, of course, it's a kind of a checkbox. It's true or false. And
Okay.
for currency, I cannot take just as a currency. It's a currency field. It will
Okay.
return the values of point values. So then I should take double. So how in a programming things you would think, right? The same way it is.
Okay.
Then how do you create Apex class? Here comes SQL queries, where you write SQL like in other tables you write select ID from name from table.
Right. Right.
So we don't use star here. Select you need to select all the fields which you require, and then from table. And then how do you,
Okay.
go from one table to another table? But how do you find relationship? So how do you find relationship? How do you create a relationship? All in admin you will do it. Via code, how do you go relationship? Via through SQL or SQL you have to do it. So then again, these are the triggers that you do, right? So these triggers are helping you to do a custom logic on an insert. What the conditions I have to do? What on a delete? What should I do? So do I need to do a custom logic or custom? See, custom logic in the sense the moment you write, insert a record, I want you to check like go do ABC and then come back and then save the record. So to
Okay.
go do ABC and then come back and save the record, maybe out of the box which is given by Salesforce may not be possible to do it. See, which you can't do in admin, There it ends. So
Okay.
the developer begins. So what a developer can do at that point, so he will go to the right place. For that, he will write a custom code to do the stuff.
Okay. Okay.
It's just that's all.
So
Uh, which you can't.
can we look at the back end? I mean, the underlying source code for the application what admin is doing. So, for example, you just showed me this account table on object manager, right, where you generally create tables and all that stuff. Do we have access to look at the code?
Fun.
I mean, when you say, I mean, you said,
See,
okay, let's say
see.
there is a table, account table, okay, and user has, I mean, customer has asked us to implement some custom logic for this one, and how does a developer get access to this code,
So
the
what type of
underlying
custom,
code?
like what type of custom that we expect at the very beginning? So
I
now
mean,
let's say this is a field you want, and he's expecting customer is expecting to create another custom field, a custom logic. See, ideally, what is the use case that we have to see, whether it is in the front end or something you do need to do at the background. Correct, right?
okay,
So he would not ask
okay,
you to create a crazy field which is not even available here. That won't be the scenario.
okay, right,
Which is applicable because these guys have already bought all the different types of data types which you can accommodate your challenges or whatever change.
okay,
Now, something that I want at the UI level. Okay, what do you want? Something. So they have to answer for it. So something like if you click on a button, I wanted to do this XYZ calculation. Okay, button.
okay,
And click on
yeah,
a button, what you need to do. So I want to write some logic where it should calculate and then update my record. Okay,
right,
then that particular button and a separate Apex class logic, you can write it off. See, we have VS
in
Code.
Visual
Look
Code.
at this. So we have a Visual Studio here,
Okay,
where
okay,
we will have tried to extract the org. Let's say this is the dev org, I think, and then I have my applications here. I have my menus here. So this is the whole bunch I've just extracted to my local org. But we
okay,
are not supposed to go change this all. What are the applications here? This is at the point click only we're doing it. You need not to do this stuffs. Where you write in custom logic code, that time you can come here. Okay. So this is how my
okay,
classes would be, and this is how my method would be, and I would do some insert logic. So all that custom
hmm,
things we can do. Of course, so there's an error handler logic we have written where some exception happens, it will come here and try to insert the record to where to the table. Insert I'm saying
okay,
is to this table. You getting? So
okay,
axiom log,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Any custom object table is named as underscore here. If it is account,
okay,
simply is account ACCO unit account, and then variable name is equal to new account. To insert this record, this is the way we do it. So you're getting? So
yeah,
custom objects are represented under underscore C.
okay.
Standard object they don't have under underscore C because it's standard. We don't have any suffix required. Sorry. Yeah, suffix required.
What's the difference between the classic development, Lightning, or on web components, which is very recent, it seems, right?
Yeah. So classic developments, I told you like you would be able to achieve with the Salesforce system. You want to do
Okay,
some UI stuff? Yes, basic UI can do. You want to do a SQL query? Yes, today in LWC also you have to query. And you want to write an Apex class? Yes, of course, today also you have to do an LWC Apex class should be written.
I mean, oh no, I didn't get you, sir. What was that?
Now, what I'm trying to
What
say
is
is,
classic?
see, look at this is a class. Okay, this is the class. Let's say we have written.
Okay,
This is a class. I have enabled our enabled cacheable is equal to true. So now this particular class I can use it in either in Aura or in LWC. So likewise, classic development would never fade off. So classic, this is see classic means basically you're writing a logic, controller logic you write. So that's the source. So that would never vanish. Now
okay,
to improvise the UIN, so they go to LWC. Earlier it was Aura. Why? Because Aura was not been that. Of course, it was went well, but at a very uh, background level logic, it was very faster. But for the UI level, it is not that great. So that's the reason LWC been introduced. So
okay,
you expect an
okay,
application, you say Lightning, you should work to that level, right? Lightning means your UI should open to the Lightning fast. But UI
right,
was a little slow. So this was worried to the other vendors or customers. So that's the reason they bought
okay,
LWC. Okay, now this is more lightweight, and you can do a lot of complex logic into the background using this JavaScript. plus your Apex
Mm-hmm.
class or Circle, whatever you write. But your
Okay.
UI would be little lightweight. That is where LWC came in picture. So Aura was not lightweight. Of course, it was solving a framework work. But when you write too much of logic there, it is a bunch of files you have. 7, 8 files would be created to solve a simple problem.
Okay.
These guys are been having only 3 files to solve the problem. So just like optimized the frameworks, and altogether they moved out of the concept called of Aura. So what I'm trying to say is either you write Aura, you write LWC. End of the day, your backend logic, um, you would require this Apex classes.
Okay.
So that is the classic where it comes in picture. So writing a logic while you're inserting something that need to happen at the background. So your LWC or Aura cannot do that because they all are UI based. The moment
Okay.
you wanted to touch your existing layout and you want to do some stuff, existing layout means what?
Mm-hmm.
See, whenever you try to create a fields, Salesforce is making you to have a layout. Look at this. Let me open account. See, you saw background account object and their represent fields, and you see couple of layouts, right? Here, this is an object. If you say in your term, it is a table, and these are fields. What I can create a new fields. If I don't want, I can come back and check my all my previous fields, which has already been created.
Okay.
Look at this. So this is an account. So this is called list view. Maybe you would write a custom logic every each and every time you have a
Right.
database. You have been
Right.
inserted the record there manually, maybe from the background. Like say writing a SQL statements and inserting it. Now to view all the such records, you need to have a tab at the top, and the moment
Mm-hmm.
you click on that application tab or menu whatever, you will open a page like this, and where you'll have a search, and you have a new all these options like how do you want to do filter. So these all things you would write a custom logics, right, to get an
Right.
application to view. So all these are not required in Salesforce. It's all pre-built.
Oh, okay.
So I just have the table. Okay, this is my first record which I created. If I want to create a new record, I click on new.
Okay.
While clicking on new, you're asking me a question. Hey, are you a supplier, are you a business, or are you an individual? For this, you need to have a separate layout where you need to have already a logic to be written. First choose this on, click on next. I'll go to another window. So all these basic steps are not required in Salesforce. So this is all we can do at the point click only.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I'll have more understanding when we actually start on a
Hmm.
project. Maybe. Right.
Look at this. When I
Okay.
say
I
next,
mean, I was.
yeah, I understand. I'm just giving explanation so that when I'm saying here,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would not say next time. Maybe when it is like, I would say that hey, this is an object, this is a table. How would do? I would do. Not in so
Okay.
detail because already now only you're understanding it. So look at this. So when I choose now new record, see already whichever I created the fields here. So those fields have been populated with this layout.
Let's say if the customer wants to have a new field which is not already predefined, then in that
So
case you have to
go create a new
customize it.
field. Yeah, not customize. This is all
Oh,
about configuration. So I wanted a new
okay.
field called as email. I just say next. I say,
Let's say if the field is not available at all in this list.
that's what I'm doing. I'm just going, clicking on to my data
Okay.
type, which in data type I want, and I'm just giving field XYZ email. XYZ email.
Okay.
So this XYZ email, I'll create and show it off to you. XYZ email and then say next. So here they're asking, do you require it? I mean, whenever you fill the form, it is a required field or a mandatory field I'm asking, or it should be unique field so that nowhere in the Salesforce the record should be as same. So all these checks you can have. And then say next. And so we have something called profiles. I'll explain you. So all these guys should have access to these fields. So they're saying, then you can say yes. And then to which all the layouts you want to add this to all the layouts. So layout is what you know. So it's a UI. So where you add all the fields. Each and every time, every layout may cannot have all the 100 fields which you created. I can have only 5 fields for a layout. I can have 10 fields for only a layout. You getting?
Okay.
So
Okay.
you
Okay.
open a form, and I don't want all the 100 fields which I created in account should be here in my UI. I can have a different. For a
Okay.
marketing guy, I can have different 10 fields. For sales, I can have different 10 fields to populate. For a business individual, everyone can have a different types of fields presented there, but all the fields are residing under the account only. Now you are showcasing which fields to be there part of this layout to that particular user when he logs in. Getting?
Yeah.
So that's the reason we have multiple layouts. So layout is basically UI for you. You can configure,
Okay.
drag and drop the fields which you want, which you don't want, which button you don't want. So it is like a view portion. In MVC, this is a view
Okay.
portion.
So when you're writing, when you're creating new fields, and I think when you're creating new tables or new objects or new layouts, it is nothing but you are using the Salesforce platform to build an application. You are not using its software, right?
Mm,
I'm just trying to understand the difference between the SaaS and PaaS. When you say
so
SaaS, there are already some existing applications, and you're just giving license to use those applications. But when
yes,
it
of
comes to
course,
platform,
this
you're
is so this is a developer or they already given you SaaS and along with PaaS. You getting? So if you wanted to
okay.
utilize the standard object, then you're using SaaS.
Uh,
Then you're using
oh,
SaaS.
SaaS. Okay.
Why? Because you
Okay.
are using the standard object. Why you have to use the standard object? If you don't want standard object at
Okay.
all, then every each
Okay.
and every object is a custom table. Then you are using PaaS.
Mhm.
You getting?
Okay.
So
Even
come.
even a single object is known as software. I was thinking maybe a big application just for sales purpose or marketing purpose. I mean, yeah.
No,
I
no.
was
What I'm trying to
confused.
say is no, no. This I will tell you. When I call a sales cloud, I will have a bunch of tables in that. Getting? So one among
Okay.
them is this account. Account is the customer information basically.
Mm-hmm.
Getting?
Mm-hmm.
So likewise, if I don't want, if you say to Salesforce, I don't want your SaaS part, I just please give me only the platform. So then you won't see any applications, you won't see any predefined tabs or any objects being created. It's just a fresh org. So you have to
Okay.
create your own custom table. You have to add your own fields, add to the layout, and add that particular object, whatever, to the application. Now that's the first
Can we
application.
have a look at that? How it would be uh, pass?
Pass. Add, see, taking all of the applications pass. It's a fresh org.
Okay. Okay.
So you went to an object manager, went to an object
Okay.
manager. You don't see anything. You don't see anything here.
Okay. Let me go on my system. Okay. Object manager. Okay.
No,
I already have account activity. Okay.
yes, any each and every developer. See, Salesforce gives you to learn sales and service cloud, whatever they have done. With the help of their SaaS platform only, we can learn something. At the very
Okay.
beginning, if they give you fresh or sorry, flat platform, what you would learn? You would not know what is previous system and the current system is yours. So to understand
Okay.
how they build the existing system, to see that and then learn the new things is what they give in these two applications.
Okay. But what are these account activity? These are all called as tables or
Everything is a
SaaS
table.
and software.
These are all
Oh,
tables
it's a
only. Okay, so
tables.
do you see that? Let me go to you and then say new and supplier. So next, if I see XYZ fields which I created right away, it should come here. Say XYZ email. This is a new field which let's say customer asked, and I created a field on account table. And look at this, you got it.
Okay.
I just give a random name and saving this. It says, boss, it's an email type. So what you're giving here? I just chosen the data type as email. So itself is doing a validation.
Right.
You need to enter
Right.
the proper email. So this level basic things and all they have covered it.
So this one called as pass. Then I mean the one which you're
Is-
creating this
no, see, platform as a service when I say platform as a service when I say it's absolutely they have given you a platform. So where you are creating a custom everything custom, be it from the fields, objects, application, menu tabs, and who should see what, all age and everything, it's your custom thing.
Okay.
License to this license, who all can view what they can do with. So this is what called pass.
Okay.
Getting?
Okay.
Of course.
Whenever a company hires you, what would they? I mean, who determines whether we have to use SaaS or PaaS? Is it the requirement or the client is to just
See, when you work with the pass, I think you are into a product based company.
okay?
So they take the platform flat and then they build up on it and they make a product. and then they sell out the product. For them only it is useful pass, because
Okay.
they know already, the niche people would be there to just take a platform and construct the schema whichever they liked, and they will work on it. So let's say
Okay.
hotel reservation system or flight reservation system, which is not even nearing matching to the Salesforce. Now this application they want to build in Salesforce. Yes, they can do it.
Okay.
So what these guys will do, they just simply take a platform, and for a airline reservation, what schema is required, what table is required, they will start creating here and make a connection, and then all they will put into an application. Now, the moment you click on application, you will see all the menus
Okay.
related
But
matching to
yeah,
the
I think
airline reservation.
right. I think we will go and start the training. Maybe then I could understand. Now I understood at least the basic stuff which I was having some
Yeah, so
confusion
this would be
earlier.
easy for you. See, this field is a custom field which I created onto my existing standard object. Existing.
Yeah. Okay.
When some table is already existing, you can create some fields on that. But you can't modify the
Right.
pre-existing which you got already.
Okay. Okay.
So
Makes
this is a
sense.
portion of a account is a portion of a sales cloud or maybe a service cloud. But if sales was given you a already pre-built application to you, you can just configure it. Configure and send something you can modify, but you cannot change the underlying the principle. Like say they cannot change the name of that particular field.
Okay.
Maybe you can
Do we
expose
need
to
to
some.
memorize all these table names? I mean, let's say they ask us what are the objects that are available with Sales Cloud or Service Cloud. Do we need to memorize some stuff here?
Hey, that you'll go on the go, you'll get it.
Okay.
So like see, like example, like sales cloud, I'm saying I would talk about some few fields, few objects, sorry. And when talking
Okay.
about marketing, again, see these all combination of all they made a same thing. Accounts, contact,
All right.
opportunities.
Yeah,
These
I
are,
got it. I guess.
I think,
Yeah.
while on the
Let's
go, you
go.
will just listen to it. So
Yeah.
now let's
Okay.
quickly do is I will do a quick review chapter for you, because so if you do this way, we won't cover any chapters
Okay.
because it's on the fly. You cannot even understand. Sometimes maybe your thoughts would be keep jumping the way what that could be, what this could be. Okay, I understand this out of curiosity. Everyone would have this. So let's jump quickly here.
Yeah, from personal setup, right?
Yeah, personal setup. So all this been already been I so told you. It won't be that difficult when I just explain to you.
Okay.
Okay, personal setup. How do you go to a personal setup? The moment you sign up an org, so you should go click on your name, and there's the settings. So click on that.
Mm-hmm.
So you see all your personal information here. Personal information is basically your information. First name, email ID, username, whatever the org that is given, that is your personal information.
Okay.
So this is absolutely your own settings that you're clicking on it. Getting?
Right.
So if you want to see your own advanced user details, you can just click on that also. You can check. Hey, I'm belong to this profile. I have been involved in this many user, and what else? So what are the things I have an access? All that would be mentioned because you are a system administrator. So that's the reason you will have these many level of access.
Okay.
Getting? So marketing user, offline user, knowledge user, flow user, service cloud user. Basically, you wanna have this much of licenses so you can enable them.
Okay.
So I'll come to this later part. So what is licenses? I'll tell you. Otherwise, if you see how do you change a password, you can give it changing a password. Your login history. So when did you log? This you can take track of 6 months. What else? So if you have any approvers from your top, so you can have your manager and your delegate approver can be there. So every resource when they join, they will have managers, right?
Right.
Who's reporting to counselors or someone will be there. And your senior manager would be delegate approved. If manager is not there, so at least your delegate manager approach should be there to approve you. Maybe his
Okay.
manager is, that also could be possible. Otherwise, these are simple. So grant login access is the one which we can tell here. So whenever something wrong with your org, so you wanted to say that give credential of your org and say, hey, please log into my system and check. Instead of that, you can say that I'm going to give my Salesforce or to my company administrator, I'm going to give 1 week access or 1 day access.
Okay.
So he will log into your system and you will check what is happening in your system. If you raise some bug or concerns that only your
Oh,
particular org is not working for some reason,
okay.
so you can raise for the support.
Okay.
This within your within your company. This is directly asking to a Salesforce to log into your system and asking for checking. See, every org when it is creating it, so 100% it will be good, may not be good. So that time we require support
Okay.
to check. It is basically, maybe I don't know whether in your company, someone virtually logs in and then updates a record, or virtually someone who logs in and solve your issue.
That, yeah, taking remote of my system
Yes, that
technically.
is something remote of your
Okay.
system where on your permissions they're doing it.
Right.
So same way here also you are granting them a permission. Please log in and check. So the
To
moment
my
you do
org.
it, yeah,
Okay.
this you do it. So you no need to be online also. So they can go to your username.
But what
They'll
kind of issues you would have in your org so that someone would log in and see? I mean, you are the
something
admin
something
and
something vague would happen. So you can't even judge. Um,
okay. I'm just asking, is there any scenario for such
so let's say
as
you are a rep. You think sales rep. So you are in a system where you are entering all the data. You are a rep, sales rep.
okay.
So while dealing the customer, something went wrong. Maybe logically it went wrong, where the developer not written the code properly, so it is broken somewhere. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now you are raising a concern, and let's say all other sales reps are working fine. They're saying it.
Okay.
So the same scenario for every other sales rep it is working fine. Only for you it is not working. So then you ask to your administrator boss, where everyone they're saying that is working only for not only for me it's not working. Can you debug me and check
Okay.
what is happening in my system?
Okay.
For your login particularly, it's not for a complete system. It's just for your login. What is happening? So then maybe a
Okay.
permission issue. So they ask you, hey, please give an access to me from to your company administrator. Go to your personal settings and do this. So I will log and check
Okay.
what is happening. Then we'll put a debug log on your system and then check. That's how an admin would control you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
It's something
Yeah.
even the admin or everyone where something goes wrong, you have to connect with Salesforce. Even they can do the same stuff for you. So you are giving access to them. So they can log in
Okay.
and then they can check what is wrong in your org. So at this time,
Okay.
something at an org level is some issue where Salesforce only can resolve. You can't do anything with this.
Okay.
So hereby. So that's about the personal information, and then company information is again, how, right, how to come here. So you need to come and click on setup. So this is the setup screen. So you'll see a setup here.
Okay.
So two things here is one is home. If you click all the configurations you see, when you click on object manager, all the tables related stuff you see. Standard object, custom object, all the table related information you see here.
Okay.
So this home is a general configuration around the things we have. I click on home and so this is home. I just type on company information. So company information is what you have given your company name. So that is here, and as well as languages, time zone. So what is my local? How many CPU space, file space in the last 24 hours? How many API requests we have sent? Any streaming events have been happening? Any logins are there?
Okay.
What is your org ID? What type of editions you are holding? Where is your instances residing? All that you see. Along with that, few licenses you see.
Okay.
So these are the licenses that we have for your org, complete org. So this would be a copy of your production. If you see, if you see these licenses, like say if it is as like a production only it is. This is directly dev org is basically a production to you right away. Um, Look at this. Salesforce is the license. With this license, you can have administrators level of access. So what these guys have given? So they have given two licenses for us. One is user who at the very beginning you create. So they are become the license one. And then later on you can create another administrator. So it becomes license two also is used. Now what is the Salesforce license if you say? Highest level of access where system admin level we can create in this. with this license. So only maximum they give it to for testing or for a developer purpose. So they don't give much. Okay. So likewise, you have a sales platform. See what I say is you have a more level of access here. You have less number of access here compared to other licenses. In this, you can see service cloud, marketing cloud, sales cloud, all these application. This guy would have an access. Whereas this guy has access to only to a chatter. This guy has only to access to sales. Maybe not all the fields, only few objects they have an access to this. So this is for a community if they wanted to have. So these guys, you have to open up access to either of any of the sales or service objects. Work from work.com,
I
proxy.
mean, if you want, so these are like licenses names, and
Yeah.
if you want to any, how do you request to? I mean, request to
So
add
let's say,
yourself in the
yeah.
license.
So let's say this Salesforce licenses. I said this is the pretty maybe costly one, and again this guy
Okay.
has this license has access to a lot of things. So generally, company prefers this, and because you can give additional access, you can take up the access. That's fine. But I wanted this type of an access. So only two licenses they given free. Salesforce is given only two licenses free. That means two users you can log in here with the help of this
Okay.
license.
Okay.
Basically, two admins can log into your org. It's absolutely the same way. And
Okay.
why two admin? Because this is just for learning purpose. Why you want more number of users? If you
Okay.
wanted to
What is this charter free? It says total licenses available are 500,
5,000.
5,000. Sorry.
So chatter free is again
I mean, how do you request yourself to have this license?
a request in the sense.
Um.
This is
Okay, you're saying that.
out of the box. This you are getting it. So for a free org, you are getting
Okay.
all of this stuff. When you wanted to create your own, that means you paid for it, and then you are getting the proper sandbox type of I mean, for any company, it is developer edition. So we don't create a developer edition for a real-time company. So either we go for enterprise
Okay.
edition or we go for ultimate edition. So now for
Okay.
developer edition only this much of predefined they're giving it to you. For enterprise
Okay.
edition, of course, this would be 10,000, and of course this would be at least 15. So they give a minimum of the count to you. So to overall, they do a calculation and then charge you a price. Hey, I don't want this
No,
much of
my
licenses. I don't want this much of license. This is all in negotiation time. You get it to with Salesforce.
my question is, so this is my development arc,
Hmm.
right? And I'm seeing the licenses names. Where do I use this license, and how do we determine the total license? I know it is predefined, the 5,000, 2, 3, 5, 2, whatever it is. It is predefined, the total licenses.
Hmm.
Where do I use these licenses, and
Of course, while
what's the
creating a
significance of
user,
it is?
I need to use
Okay.
these licenses. Licenses are indirectly used in
Okay.
profiles. Profiles are the one we have to select while creating a user. If
Okay.
I'm creating a user, newly joined user, let's say he's a sales rep, we are asking
Hmm.
him to newly join to a company. I have to create a name for him. I have to create a user for him, not to log into our system. So let's say you joined a
Okay,
company.
then in that
So
case,
who are you? You are a
yeah, and I
developer.
want charter free. Okay, okay, then you will give on me, and one number will be reduced here. It would
Yes,
say
yes, yes.
4,998. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So chatter free is for external users also, not only the Salesforce, any other
right.
users
I'm just
also.
saying whatever it is. Let's say if you want a new add a new user and you want to provide him the work.com only license, so you will assign it to them. Then here, the use license would be up by one, and the remaining license would
Mm,
be down by one.
yes,
Right. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So
There will be any interview questions on these ones? I mean, the company information or personal information.
uh, not much, but
Do they ask?
they don't directly come and ask you, hey, what is it? Tell me company information. So do
I
you know
mean, not
license?
company.
They may ask
What
you,
license?
do you know how license works? They may ask you question. License is something
Okay.
that we negotiate with the sales and we bring it. How much number of license we want? Let's say 50 license
Okay.
I brought. That means 50 users I can use these licenses.
Okay. Use this application maybe.
Without a license, you can't do anything, right? So you are purchasing a license. Only then you are authorized to log in or do the stuff. Even if you own a bike also, you should have a license to ride the bike.
Right.
Else you are not
Okay.
authorized to ride the bike. If not, you have to pay fine for it. So here no
Hmm.
fine concept, but they're already defining you saying that hey, only 50 licenses I'll give to you. Hey, give me only 10 licenses. So you know the resources who are you are hiring, they're authorized users and
Yeah.
so
Okay.
authorized what to say employees. For them, you are giving
Okay.
access to each licenses. And if tomorrow they
Okay.
don't want, so you're in the leave the company, you deactivate them. So one license will be added to you
Yeah.
because you
Okay.
deactivated him.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go to the next section.
Okay. So now the come the points of users, roles, and profiles. So you were
Okay.
asking right how licenses are doing the stuff to you.
Okay.
Hmm, I have to draw for you. Hmm, let me see this.
From which chapter you usually do the project work?
Yeah, from this chapter also we can start, but I'll just first explain what this chapter is doing.
Okay.
Because after completing this chapter only you will understand. After 4 and 5 only you will understand. Maybe 4, 5, 6 only you will understand. If I say about a project, you can understand about what I'm trying to talk about. Unless and until it will be very crazy to you.
Okay.
4, 5, 6 is very important. So if you bear with me 4, 5, 6, I think you will get couple of things. What not all the questions you will get. So let me draw a new diagram or I'll show you. Okay. Can you see my system?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. This is very important thing. When I say now about a profile, let's start with this. Creating users, roles, profiles that talk. No, let me talk for the first one with the profile. So what do you
Okay.
profile? So profile is something that when a user logs in, the moment he logs in, what type of access the profile has been defined, based on that only you can see the application. Let's say
Right.
you are a you are a junior developer. To a junior
Okay.
developer, what I need to show you, only that level of access I have to give you. Okay, it's okay,
Okay.
fine. You're a developer. I need to give little advanced access so that you can develop something. Now, let's say end user, directly an end user who is a sales rep, sales manager. To rep, what I
Mm-hmm.
should show, to a manager, what I should show, I know very well. Rep cannot see
Okay.
manager's data. A manager cannot see rep. Manager can see rep's data. Getting?
Who? What is? I mean, who is representative? What is his role? I mean, when you say rep.
We should create it. We should create it. You getting? If
Okay.
you think a system, I'm saying why I'm saying often is rep is because he is the very very level basic level of the guy.
Okay.
You created a sales application.
Okay.
Sales application means what? You have a customer, you have the customer information. Now customer is trying to do a deal. Let's say $50,000. You wanted to enter a deal. He's entering it out.
Okay.
Okay. Same another one rep two we have. So he is also having a customer with him handling it, and he is also dealing something XYZ. And ideally, rep one and rep two, they should not see these both the information, what they're working on. Getting?
Okay.
So this type of scenario
Okay.
would be there. Ideally, rep should not share what the information is going, which customer they're working on. Maybe all it's confidential, but his manager can see both the guys' information.
Okay.
So these are use case I'm saying. These are we have to build it. There's nothing here.
Okay. When you say rep, he is a developer. I mean, who he is the
Rep
one
is
who
not a
is
developer. I'm saying
selling
all
the.
about see, leave with the developers. Come to an end scenario where end user scenario only you have to talk. Developer scenario is something where how do we customize at that point you should think. Ideally, in all the case,
Okay.
how a client works, that one you have to think through. You should
Okay.
see at application end users level. Then let's come to
Okay.
talk about application. What to do with application? Because
Okay.
directly every time when you get a project, how to do a project? That is not a scenario. This is my project. Can you do me? You getting?
Hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
directly, always you will have a end users questions only to you. Now that end users questions you have to convert to our development scenarios.
Okay.
So that way I'm talking about end user scenario. Let's say this guy is a rep and he has only minimal access where he cannot see manage my manager's information. Then I cannot see my co-working neighbor's sales rep information also I cannot see. But only my data I
Okay.
can see, I can work with, where what my work I'm doing it, my manager can see. Based on that only he'll give my presence. So this is absolutely valid, right?
Right.
So in order to control, hey, you are a rep, only your information you have to be seen through, and you should not see the neighbor's sales rep information. Then how do I build this system? So there you can come with a thought view. Okay, let's have a sales rep as a profile. Both are having the
Okay.
same level of field level of access, but data only I'm not showing to them, to each other. You getting? UI
Yeah.
everything is same, but only data I'm not showing to those guys of the neighboring guys. You created a record,
Okay.
you own it. You created and the other guy
Right.
created the record, you own it. But owner of the records only can see these data. So that
Okay.
means okay, both having the same level of access, same level of view for
Okay.
a table, application, everything. So then at that time, what I do is I create a profile. So profile is the
Okay.
one which we say profile is the one we say who sees after the login. Let's say sales represent to him. I have given application access. I have given menu, few only two or three menu. So basically, we don't talk in menu in Salesforce. We say it as
Okay.
tab, and their associate tables. So we say don't say tables in Salesforce. We say objects. Either
Objects.
that could be custom or whatever. And every object can have
Okay.
fields. To this level, look at
Okay.
this. An application
Okay.
can have a collection of tabs or a menus.
Tabs and then.
Each tab is
Okay.
connected with their representative object because if you click on
Okay.
student menu, student table only should appear. So that
Right.
student menu, if you click, their table should open. So we call tab, and then the respective object would open. Each and every object will have a fields. Of course, tables will have all the fields. Now these
Okay.
fields, I have under fields. All the under fields should I show to that particular rep or not? Maybe only 10 fields I want
Okay.
to show. So by that
Yeah.
way,
Based on the permissions
so
you set, he will be able to see this.
so I say
It all depends on
which layout. So you should have fields. You getting?
Okay.
Table is there. All that I put into a layout, and the layout has all number of fields.
Okay.
Now the only 10 fields I'll show in this layout. So this layout has been assigned to sales rep. So now what is the profile? Look at this. The profile is controlling everything. I
Okay.
create a name of profile called sales rep, and I use the
Okay.
licenses. Let's say I told you right sometime back which license you want to what level of access
Right.
this no, that license.
Yeah.
So that license
Okay.
you would use using the license only you can create a profile. That is the first case.
Okay.
Without a license you can't do anything. So license is the top level thing you think. That's a
Okay.
hierarchy top you think. From a license you are trying to create a profile. Now from the profile when you try to create you have all this bunch of information predefined. I mean we're just getting a pre-configured ready one.
Okay.
I'll show you what it is. In this profile what you're giving is at a high level application tab object layouts fields which fields I should show or not whether should I show data
Yeah.
or not all level of configurations we have in this application sorry in this profile.
Okay. Okay.
Now I got
And
it.
we'll set that profile to any representative who
uh,
matches or
uh,
who
let's say
have
tomorrow
this
a new
permission.
guy called David he's joining the company then assign this rep to
Okay.
him sales rep profile to him done.
Okay.
So whatever the
Okay.
configured access overall so the moment he
Okay.
logs in so he'd see that application
Yeah.
that tab that object that's what he can see. Now
Okay.
let's say tomorrow manager he joins. So
Okay.
again the same
His
is the same level of
access level would
configuration.
be different.
Yeah.
His profile would be different. So
So
who determines this one? So you'll get this information from the customer. Hey, I want some set of profiles with these access level. Just create and give it to me, and he can assign it to his teammates, right?
yeah.
But whoever is access. Okay.
Okay, let's say if I see someone who is a manager. So application, which application? See, these all are actually plurals, I can have 110 application to him, 10 tabs to him, 10 objects to him, 10 layouts, hundreds of fields to him. So these are all plurals. I cannot define that, hey, you are only one application access. I cannot say. One is warehouse management, you have an access. Another one, asset management, you have an access. And again, supply chain management, you have an access. All these are a couple of applications. So to this rep, I may have only one application I've given. But for this manager, I would have given three application access. Getting?
Okay.
So it is all my
Yeah.
wish. At a profile level, what
Okay.
I should define, I define it. So
Okay.
whatever you define here, then when he logs in, he sees that. Who sees what after
Yeah.
they log in?
Okay.
Okay. So at a
Okay.
configure level, we do it in a profile. At a data
Okay.
level, what this guy has to see, that we do something in the role. If I say a role called
Okay.
sales rep, to this sales rep, data visibility, what should be there? Of course, I
Okay.
know here, I know here it is all you are giving the field level access. Whatever, fine. See,
All right.
profile is
Field is nothing but the data, right? I mean,
field is nothing but the
sections of the
configured.
table.
No. Field is something that the configurations of what field it is you're giving it. Data inside that is something is different. You
Okay. Let's
say
say you
you
take a
you say
student table. Okay.
student table,
Object is
student
nothing but student object.
correct. Look at this. Student SSN. Student SSN is the most secured field. Getting
Okay.
SSN is a field level access you're given from the profile. Now inside that
Okay.
data, SSN under that inside that what should be seen? Should I show that ABC inside that or not? That is
Okay.
you do it at role level. Basically, you have to do a sharing settings here. Sharing settings, couple of things will come here. Sharing settings, OWD, couple of things will come here. Should I show the data or not? That all we show here.
Okay.
See, profile level, if you have, there is an in the profile level, we have read, write, edit, delete, view all, modify all. So this level of access, if you give at the at table level, done. These guys know where they can help you out. I mean, these are not even used of. Again, I'll repeat.
Uh,
At an object level,
okay.
if you are giving this level of access, see what not you have, we have given everything here. You can view all
Right.
anyone's information, you can modify anyone's data, you can edit, view, delete, whatever you can do. If you set this type of access at the profile level only for a student object, the user who logs in as a sales rep, he can play with that object. He can play with that
Right.
even the data. He can delete anyone. Tomorrow a rep, his neighbor rep is created some data, I can delete his data also. But
Right. Yeah.
my use case is not to do that, right? Whatever I created, one I should see. And my neighbor
Okay.
rep, whatever he created, I cannot see that. To have that
Right.
control, I should not give this level of access.
Okay.
We all modify, I should not give this level of access. You getting? Only then I can play with my data. Read, write, edit, and delete my own data. Fine. I'm the owner of the record, I
Okay.
can do all this
Not
stuff.
all. Okay. Yeah.
Not all. So if I have
Okay.
this, sorry, what is that?
We all and modify all.
If I have this, then I'm saying that this
Okay.
is no more required because you given overall
Right.
access.
Every access.
Then what you're playing
Yeah.
here? No more required to restrict. See, these are all guys are to open up the access. These are
Okay.
guys are helping you to open up the access. Who should see what?
Okay.
Getting? And if you say at the profile level only you're giving overall access, then these guys will not have. They'll be dominated by the profile. See, profile is the
Okay.
one which is dominating everyone. He is the high
Right.
level of guy. If you give something at utmost access here, then no one can stop you.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So now at this
Okay.
level, I'm making it as very restrictive, and I come to OWD. Then I would open up some access to this. Let's say his role is sales rep. Then let me give him additional access on some use case base. So at role level, sharing level only, you can do all this stuff. So this will come. This we have a security, another chapter we call security. At that time we'll talk about this. But understand,
Okay.
a profile is
Yeah.
what we see here. So now let's show you a diagram now. Now you will get to know. So let's say this is a single org which we have. I just was talking about international private bank as an application which I wanted to create. And let's assume there is a reservation application also being built on the same application, same org basically. I can have in a single or I can have multiple applications. In a single or I can build as many as my applications, no end to it. I can create as
Okay.
many objects, no end to it. There's no
Okay.
restriction.
Okay.
Object means
There is
as
no
you
data
can
limit.
data limit they have it,
Okay.
but they don't have a configuration limit. Let's say you create as many object you want, table as many you want, application as many you want, tab as many you
Okay.
want. It's all your headache that you're gonna manage.
Okay.
Now look at this. Application level I have a tabs because collection of tabs makes one application. That's what the
Right.
definition of it. And now, so each and every tab has been connected to the respective tables. Getting student menu. The moment you click on student tab, you should go to student object only, and you should see their layout only, and you should see a section, and then you will see a couple of fields there, and inside the field, always you see a data. Correct.
Okay.
So this is a hierarchy.
No. Oh, okay. One second. So tabs are nothing but the menus. Okay. Objects is nothing but tables. Page layouts. Okay. Page layout is nothing. Yeah. UI. And what is sections?
Inside the page load, we have a
Okay.
section.
You'll have multiple sections. Okay. User permissions, role security. Okay. Okay. And then the fields, column, data rows. Okay.
Section I'm talking about, a page load can have a top level, four fields, and next section you say student personal information, you say another section. You can
Yeah.
divide
Yeah.
a
I
page
understand.
into at
Yeah.
multiple sections, and you say that
Yeah.
division.
When you take the company information layout, we'll have user license, permission set
How do
license,
you
and
see
all
that?
those. Those.
But this is
Yeah. Those are
one simple
sections.
go. You will have a simple sections that you define it. You only creating it. Only top three, four
Right.
fields I'll have a basic information, student information, education information. So you can
Okay.
have a section wise, but all are having a fields on the same table only.
Okay.
Hundreds of fields are onto the same student table only. But you making for UI appearance, okay, let's have a section, and that it will help help you to showcase UI better. Getting now each and everything you can configure in your profiles only. So I was telling about okay,
You
let's
have
say
three applications
there's three
now. Okay.
applications I have. So at the very beginning, for a sales rep, I'll give only international private bank, and I don't give
Okay.
reservation app, LMS app, nothing.
Okay.
Now there is something called as a permission set we have.
Okay.
You getting? There is something called as
Okay.
permission set we have. What is that permission set? Giving additional access to a specific user.
Okay.
Permission set always tries to give additional access to a user, but it never revokes a user. Never revokes the permission to a user. You getting? So far, I told you like, hey, you are having a profile, you are having this level of access. Fine. At a generic thing, sales rep has this level of permissions. I know, but I would be my favorite guy. Someone I need to give him additional access.
That you can do in the roles, right? A role is just to the data visibility. Okay.
But
Okay.
role if you
Okay.
say role if you say again a sales rep is the role. Again, n number of people
You
will be
can you
having.
can define a new role for the permissions, right? Or you can create a new profile with those permissions.
So it is again unnecessary thing, no?
Okay.
So I'm saying roles are the one which you create. You are a developer role. It's a common role. Any new
Okay.
developer comes, I will assign the same role, same profile. But to this developer, I need to give little additional access where this guy can go access the Git, go access my private repository. So to do this, I am giving the access only to the respective guy. So I cannot generalize on the general terms. Role is a general term where no multiple people are using it. Profile is a general term, multiple people are using it. But how do I give only a specific access to the respective user?
Okay.
For that, I should not create a new profile. For only for him,
Okay.
I'll create a separate profile called as private profile. I should not give to him. But what I can do is I can create a permission set. I can create a permission set. I can give additional access there. So it looks more or like a profile only. That UI would be looking like
Okay.
a profile only. So now you're choosing additional access. At that time, you're trying to give a reservation application access or LMS app access. So this permission set you created, of course, the license should be same. The profile license and the permission set license should be same. Only then this particular permission you can assign to the respective David. Getting?
Okay.
If your profile license is Salesforce and your
No,
permission,
if you want to give two access to do multiple, I mean, two applications, you can do it in a profile, right? Why do you have to create a permission set? Just
see, I
giving
have
one
a three.
access, one application.
Let's say we have a three reps:
Okay.
David, Beckham, and you think for some Roger. Three people we have.
Okay.
Now
Oh, okay, okay,
Only for
okay.
David, I need to give access, not for these other
Okay.
two guys. Other two guys are
Okay,
falling
okay.
under
So,
same sales rep. Only for David,
okay,
I'm
okay.
focusing on. So that to
Right.
LMS app, I should give access to only to him. So then you
Okay.
create a permission set. Permission set you created,
Okay.
and you go on. You know, while creating a permission set, what you're doing is you go into the applications in your org and saying that LMS application you tick. Now it is ready. Now after that, you have to assign to David. So permission set is always focused on to the user, right to the user. Either one user or 10
Okay.
user. I should keep all the user I have to select and I have to give specific to users. Getting?
Okay.
Now let's come to the question where I think you got the idea now. How many profiles we can have in an org?
What's that?
Look
How
at this.
many? How many profiles?
How many profiles we can have in an org?
Right. You can get many as per the requirement.
Yeah, sales rep, manager, senior manager,
Yeah.
whatever the XYZ.
Whatever.
How
Whatever
many
the customer
profiles?
wants,
How
we have
many?
to pick.
Yeah, how many profiles can a user own? You are a
It
user.
depends, right? I'm a user. Okay. Yeah. I need to have only one profile, but if you want to add some extra access, you can do it through permission set.
Yes, but only one profile. You are a developer means
One
you are a
profile.
developer. Tomorrow you are changing from
Okay.
developer to manager. Yes, of course, you will be manager. That's it. But at currently you are having only one profile to which you've been hired for you. So we have
Right.
hired you as
Because
a
we
developer.
are predefining the profiles. The manager profile will
Yeah.
be different and sales profile will be different. And
Yes.
if you are changing roles, you should change the profile. You cannot have multiple profiles. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Absolutely. You can do whatever the roles also, but that would not again you are yourself making a mess there. So keep your
Okay.
profile and the roles the same so that it will be easy for accessing the data. See,
Okay. Yeah.
profile we see for what you are seeing it. Roles and other stuff you maintain for what data you should see it. R
Right.
for R, roles for records, profile for object settings, settings where connections are or the basic configurations you do it. I got it? Something there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, now how many users can be associated to a profile?
Many users.
I can have a developer profile. I can have
Yeah, you
hundreds
can
of
give to
developers,
as many as.
hundreds of
Right.
profiles they can associate to the same profile.
Yeah.
Okay, can we create a custom profile?
Yes. I
You
mean,
can.
what's the difference between the custom profile and the normal profile?
Let me come there. I just went to
I
a
mean, if
profile.
you say
No, no,
adding a
no.
permission set to particular
Profile
profile
is
is
some.
called as
See,
a custom.
what do you have?
Okay.
No, let's show you. But default few profiles would be there in your org. While you're creating only, you will have a default profiles. Why these profiles are there? So they say that even in the flat platform, you will get this. Why? Because profile is already been showcased. Look at this. What page layout for account? What page layout you are seeing it? Look at this. The system admin for an account object when he jumps in, which layout you should see. That also you are configuring here. And field level security for each account table. What are the fields he has access to? That also we can see here. How many
Just
apps he has an
view.
access
Okay.
to? Custom apps. So all these are the different applications we have. So since he is a system admin, he has access to all the applications. So
Yeah.
which are the tab that you wanted to have access? Account.
is on default on. That means whenever the application tab access has been given, so this would be automatically shown to him. Now let's come down. Record type is something that, well, just the moment I just created this, right? I said new. So the moment I say new, you have this many things options you're giving. These are called record types. Now based on choosing this, I will have a right layout. Business customer, I'll just get a business customer layout. So record type is like a mediator in the between. To I choose which option, I'll get that respective layout to me. Getting?
No, I
So
didn't understand the record. Can you tell
record
me
type,
again? I mean,
which type of a record type you want to choose? Getting?
okay.
So I'm
So
just
you are
creating.
in the account object now.
I'm
Okay.
creating an account object. This is my custom three things I created it. So while creating a new account, I'm asking you, hey, do you want it a
Okay.
supplier layout, or you want it a business customer layout, or individual customer layout?
Okay.
So I choose
Okay.
them. Based on that, I'll navigate to the right layout.
Okay. If you want to choose another one, I mean, you have only three predefined.
You can create as many, but one second.
No, the layout.
One second, just come back. One second. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Sorry. So what I was saying is, record type something you see here. Supplier, business, individual. Those things you saw, right?
Okay.
Now, for this particular profile, when he logged in, should I show all of three? I can control this also. So now let's say sales
Okay.
rep is logged in. So the moment is clicking on new, we have three here. If at a profile level, if I choose only one would be shown there.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, one will not even show it. It will directly jump to the business layout. When I have two, if I give two access to him, so only two will show to him. Sales rep, I
Okay.
don't want to give three access to them. Maybe manager can create my supplier, but only my rep can create a business customer or individual customer. Do you get that?
Okay.
So even that also we
Okay.
can control what options I should choose.
Okay.
Those are called as record types. Each and
Okay.
every record type will be associated to a layout. Layout is only the
Okay.
one which actually has the fields configured. These are just like a mediate, which is saying that hey, go to there, go to this, like a traffic signals.
Okay.
Look at this. In this particular layout, supplier layout, I may have all these fields. Maybe I have more number of fields here. Maybe in the when I say individual uses, I may have a less number of you know see less number of fields. Look at this. Compared to that, it will have a less number of fields. That is your wish. You are configuring on what fields I should show in the layout or not. Getting?
So we're
All right.
talking about the custom profiles, right?
Yeah. No. Firstly, I'm talking about what profiles are holding it here.
Okay.
Layouts, record type setting, field level security, which app you want to show, which tab you want to
Okay.
show, which
Okay.
record type I should show, and then these are
Is it
administration.
mandate to mention all these things while creating a profile?
Yes, yes, very important
Okay. So
because
we need to memorize. If someone asks you what are the
no,
things
no,
you
no, they
have
don't
to
ask in
configure for.
no, no, they don't ask each individual. Understand what is profile is. That's enough.
Right.
So now this guy has to see. You can manage the roles. Okay, manage roles. You can
Mhm.
edit them roles at the hierarchy level. Now he can manage users. He can modify any users. He can create users. Only admin can create user for someone. Do a rep can manage users. So that time these are access not required.
Okay.
Modify all data. Do you require this data? See, since he's an admin profile which I open, so he sees this much of information here. This many
Okay.
of text checkbox check. If it is rep, um, it is reverse case. Many would be unchecked, one or two would be checked.
Yeah. Right.
Think that. But need not to worry about. So they don't. The moment you join a company, they don't give you a fresh application like this and say, "Go build all this." You would have a predefined setup ready. You need to
Okay.
slowly go see which are the profiles, how it has been configured.
Okay.
Getting.
Yeah.
Look at this. Each and every tab, read, create, edit, delete, we all modify. This is the
Mhm.
access if you have. Then no any permissions that can help you. No any
No roles.
roles can
Yeah.
help you because this guy have each and every access here. No one can stop
Okay.
him. This is because he is an admin, so he has an access to everything. But if it's a sales rep, we will cut short. We'll just may give read, write, create only. Maybe sometimes we don't give delete also. We created that's all, no options. You can modify the data. Like we have we all modify, we'll give wisely.
Right.
Other
Yeah.
thing is this whoever this guy is logging in what time the password should remember, what is the length, all this you can configure. And you can give login IP range also to them. And any profile who logs in within this range, then only will allow. If sales rep is logging from some X places, this application not even open. You can even
Okay.
set that. He is belong to US and he
Okay.
is logging with Indian IP, we will not allow him to open. I'm getting even the credential is correct, everything is
Yeah.
correct. IP is different. So
Okay.
tomorrow, if you think something, you create custom classes, custom pages, you can access to this profile. You can give it. All these are custom settings
Okay.
because you create a custom UI page, and the sales rep who logged in, if that guy has access to that particular page, only then he can preview that page. Even that level, be a control level.
Right. Okay.
All right. So why I said is this is the profile. Now we don't have a
System
custom
admin. Okay.
profile to go click on new, create a profile. Anytime you wanted to create a custom profile, you have to clone the profile. The entire clone set of that it will create and it will say that which license you belong to, and you can create the XYZ profile name. Getting the moment you create XYZ,
Okay.
I'm just giving this sample. Let it be the same. So this is
Okay.
my XYZ custom profile which I'm creating with the same of copy of system administrator. At that time it says it's a custom profile, and you see each and every other things it has been cloned from the system admin. Now you need to
We can
modify
modify now.
modify
Okay.
now as
As
per
per
your
my requirements.
sales rep or sales
Okay.
manager who should give what access that you should win deal with. Getting?
Okay. So this is my development arc. So I got system admin as a default profile, right?
Yeah. So
But
you,
when
you
you are developing an application,
so of
you'll
course
create
the same
profile
thing.
based on the requirements.
Sales rep I would create. Sally, look at this. I have created IBB sales manager. Say for this application which I'm trying to create now. In I sales rep. I already have created a profile in my trainings for that application which I want international private bank. Look at this
So when you
custom
are
app.
able to create a new one, you should be able to create another one, right? Why do we call it? Why do we have to clone it?
Of
Now my
course,
question is,
we
you
don't have an
created a
option.
sales profile.
See, when you're creating custom one, you will miss something. So Salesforce is giving this is the predefined things. Whether you choose or not, I don't care. But I'll give all the set of copy to you. Now you go and uncheck or check whatever you play with it.
Oh, okay, okay. So even a sales thing you have cloned it from the existing ones, and then you
Of
have
course, of
modified as per
course,
the requirements.
of course.
Okay, you cannot create a new profile.
Look
We'll
at
be
this. This
having some
such a big
pre-existing.
section. If you miss
Okay.
anything out or not custom, then it'll be a big time problem.
Okay. So you cannot create a brand new. There are already existing profiles, and we have to use them and regenerate from our based on our requirement. Okay. Right?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So likewise, look at this. This guy is sales rep and access to my custom app. Let me where is that? Where is that? Hmm. I've unchecked all the application which he has, and I've just given this guy when he logs in, he will have access to my
Right.
only my custom application called as International Private Bank. I'll give the scheme of what we are doing in the International Private Bank,
Okay.
so you will understand. But assume this is an application we have, International Private Bank. Okay.
So now even the sales, it is called as a custom profile, right? Because you have cloned it and
It's a
created
custom profile.
as
There's
per
a
the
custom
requirement.
application. I don't give any other standard out of box sales was given to us. We are not using at all. I'm just giving
Okay.
international private bank only this particular application. When my sales rep logs in, he will have access to this. No any
Okay.
already
Can you
standard.
go to the profile once? Can you go to the sales IPB on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
top
there only
section?
am. There only am.
Okay. 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 Now it says the custom profile. Okay. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. What is the question?
Okay. No, I understood.
So users, roles, profiles, permission set. See, look at the permission set also I would have created. Let me jump to permission set. See, profile and permission set will not be that great difference you have.
Okay.
Any permission set did I create? I think I didn't create any permission set. But I'll show you the permission set what
Okay.
it is. Mm,
Okay.
Queue manager, sales user. Even here also, if you wanted to create a new permission set, so if I say click on new, again it'll ask you please um, choose the license which you want. If you don't have the license, you leave it as none.
Okay. Do we have, just like profiles? Does the Salesforce provide some, what do we call, like, so for profile, Salesforce has already provided some predefined profiles and you have to clone and we have to modify, right? Is it the same for users, permission sets,
No, no, no.
groups, and all other stuff?
Only for the
Only for
profile it is
profiles.
the crazy stuff is because they have huge information. You have to clone it.
Okay.
See, many clone
Okay.
scenario you will see here in Salesforce rather than create new.
Okay.
So here also the permission set which you are having, you are saying that I'm okay to do with the fresh, but my configuration will be ready. Look at this. This is a permission set which I'm creating. It's absolutely new. I'm saying additional access
Okay.
to IPB rep. Okay. Okay. I say
Mhm.
none of the license. I don't know which licenses. So based on the license, I can assign to the future state. You say that license and none. If you know which particular license you're using, you can choose any of the license here. Say Salesforce or something else. I choose none because I don't know which license I would be assigning to. I say nay, save, save.
How
Now,
did we see how we create users
yeah, we'll see.
roles?
We'll
No.
see that. We'll see that.
Okay.
First, we have to see what profile. Only then, because if you directly go to a user, you'll go crazy. What is this? So many options we have. I don't know. So just I'm coming with the options and then come to later to the user. Look at this. This is the permission set which I created. And manage assignments is something that are these permissions being assigned to any user here? It's not. Look at this. So now I wanted to give additional access, assigned apps. So currently rep was having the only application access was IPB sales systems, right? International Private Bank only has this access. I can give him something marketing application. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm here.
additionally I'm giving this particular application access. So that means what?
Okay.
Now when he logs in, you can see this application in his screen. Still,
Okay.
I didn't define it. Still, I didn't define or still I didn't assign to him. So now I'll go to manage assignments. I have to add the assignment to the respective user. I have to choose the user. Who is he? So let's say this is guy sales rep. I need to click on him. I need to assign. So that's how this additional access to IPB sales rep will have the new level of application access called as marketing. When he logs in,
Okay.
you will see that.
Okay.
Get it? So this is how we choose a specific user and give additional access.
Okay.
Likewise, you can create, edit, whatever, what not to the object permissions you can give. Okay,
Okay.
so this is fine. And again, let me show you how the roles are. So this is the company name at the top, your CEO role here, and under that, if I have created someone called as, look at this, IPB India Sales Manager I've created under this guy. So any data,
Okay.
any records created by the sales bank manager can see till the CEO level. But whatever the
Right.
CEO is creating, he cannot see, right? So this is
Yeah.
how
Right.
we have
Yeah.
set the roles. So by setting the
Yeah.
roles, it will help you out who should see what.
Okay. So in this case, we have to think when we get the requirement, we have to think and we have to create the roles
Yeah,
so
it will be
that the
very
data won't
straightforward.
be
Like you will have directly a manager. You can by the name only you can assume that he is a superior or no inferior.
right. Yeah.
So when I say IPB sales rep, so I can see here who is under me.
And even these roles you can create, right? It is not something you have to clone.
Yeah,
You can
look at
create
this
a
ad
brand
role.
new roles.
Just simply add role.
Okay.
You are just getting in under him. You are
Okay.
reporting under IPB sales rep. Can be said
Okay.
something like assistant. And what this guy
Okay.
should be named on reports, yes, same thing. So like that it is. So now let me come to user. Where how
And
do I
what is
create?
this? Those three buttons: edit, delete, and assign.
You can
Okay. So
edit
if
the
you want to
role,
edit
you
the
can
role,
delete the role.
delete,
You
and
want to
assign the
assign
role to someone,
yes,
new
exactly.
users. Okay.
Directly
Okay.
to user. See some user you would have not filled the role. Later stage you wanted to assign the role based on the after the hierarchy created. See, look at this. Let's say batch created batch number. This is the system admin for this org. See, it doesn't have a role here.
Okay.
What does it mean? Role is not a mandatory field for a creating a user. Fine. But you should have a which license you are belong to, which profile you belong to. It's very important. You getting? Let me try to create a
Yeah.
new user.
One.
See there. New user. Give his first name, last name, alias, email ID, username, nickname, whatever.
One
Automatically it'll
second.
create.
One second. I lost your screen.
Is it?
Yeah. I can see it now. Okay. Tell me.
Okay, fine. So while creating new user, you have to fill out this basic information. These are fine. And look at this role. If you don't specify also fine, later stage you can assign it. This is not mandatory.
Okay.
But when you say license, of course you should choose which license you belong to. Based on the license, I'll populate the profile. Because every
Okay.
time when you create a profile, your license has been tied up with it. Based on the license only,
Okay.
you'll see the profiles.
Pro- Profiles. Okay.
You want to activate a user, you want to deactivate a user. If you uncheck and check here, later of the user is created, you can do this stuff. Getting? Otherwise, all are the basic things. If you want to assign who is your manager, who is a delegate approver right away, you can do this also. Getting? Because you are as a rep, you are reporting to your manager. Who should be your senior manager? Who is the other additional manager? You can keep a delegate approver here. Those are the
Okay.
guys who
So
will
is
help.
there any interconnection? So whenever you're creating a profile, you have to assign the license then and there, right?
Yes, automatically. It does
Okay.
automatically.
And whenever you're creating a user, you have to define the license, and then it automatically populates the
See, this
predefined
user is
profile. So
a let's say standard platform user.
okay,
This may be
and you
fifty
have the
dollar user,
profiles.
$50 license. If you jump to chatter free, his level of access would be different. So license is very important.
Right. Okay. No, no. My question is, so something, those are interlinked. Whenever you're creating profile, you have to
Yes, yes.
define the license, what license
See,
user, which license users can have these profiles. And whenever you're creating a user, you have to select the license, and then done
hmm.
automatically populates the profiles that
See,
are under that
because of the
license.
license, the moment you choose, the profile is populating. That means what? Yes, these guys are dependent on the license.
Yeah.
And again, we have a queues and groups where collection of people would be there part of the queue or a group. Sidely, you are solving a tickets, right? So you will have a queue members. Let's say this is a L2 support team. I have this many users under the L2 support. Adding one or more to a group or to a queue is just like supporting for a particular cause. Getting?
Okay. You're telling about queues now. Okay.
What do you mean by queues is you try to create a
Okay.
queue and you add as many users to the queue. Maybe let us state when the tickets are flowing in. So part of the queue members, anyone they can assign to them and they can work on. So that is we call as queue. Same way, these queues and groups are the same way it does. See, public group is set of users it can have, and anyone in the particular group can own the record in the later stage when it is assigned to a group.
Okay, can you go to the queues? It's a queue. Queues allows. I mean, this queue will have the group members or
Of course,
applications.
every queue can hold a couple of users. That's the meaning of it. You said developer team,
Okay.
all your developer
Okay.
users would be there part of this team.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So you
Okay.
can,
So yeah, just for routing the tickets and everything. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So otherwise, we are good here into the chapter 4 and chapter 5 already have been given highlights. What is application object fields and the stuff. So let's quickly
Okay.
see it tomorrow at high level, and then we jump on
Okay.
to create a two object and give a relationship and check how it works. So then, so I would
Okay.
assign you a trailhead badge to look into this all the stuff.
Okay. Sure. Uh, okay. One question. So I think you started working on the project from the second day itself for them, right? For chapter 4, 5, 6, I
No, I'm just
believe.
restructuring for what is the best case that I have to do for you. So maybe 4, 5, 6
Okay.
after you get to know, then you can get into a project and then explain what project is doing. Then only you will understand. Since
Okay.
see, based on the like candidates, I would just rate it that way.
Okay.
Now four
Okay.
five
Never
six
mind.
in
Yeah.
the 4, 5, 6, if you understand, you would know application in
Okay.
one go. Then thereafter, it is very easy to crack for you to next level. So
Okay.
that is where we
Yeah.
have created a mindset where people would not know how project would work, how things want to know. For them, I should
Yeah.
start that way. If you know something in a pre-existing
Okay.
development environment, so I think for you it is a fast pace, more faster pace than them. So I prefer you assume that
Okay.
I'm restructuring something for you, so that you will understand.
Okay.
No, you will
Okay.
learn it quickly.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Kant.
Yeah.
We'll meet
Thank you.
tomorrow. Same time.
Same time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.